In the far northern lands of Nigeria, where the wind carried the scent of dust and wild grass, there lived a man named Fulani. Everyone in the village knew him. He was the richest nomad around, with the largest herd of cattle anyone had ever seen. Fulani was polite, always greeting people with a kind smile and sharing his wealth with those in need. "Ah, Fulani is truly blessed," people often said. "The spirits must love him." But they didn't know Fulani's secret. A secret so dark that only the moon and shadows knew the truth. During the day, Fulani was gentle and kind. His cattle grazed peacefully across the golden fields. Children ran to him, hoping for gifts, and he never disappointed them. But at night, everything changed. As the sun disappeared beyond the hills, Fulani's eyes would grow cold. His laughter faded into silence. His cattle, once calm, began to glow faintly under the silver moonlight, as if touched by some strange magic. Some villagers whispered stories, saying they heard eerie chants coming from his camp at midnight. Others claimed they saw shadows dancing around his cattle, shadows with no bodies. "It's just your imagination," Fulani would say with a smile whenever someone asked. But one brave boy named Musa wasn't convinced. He had always been curious. "I will find out Fulani's secret," he told himself. One quiet night, when the stars sparkled like diamonds in the sky, Musa crept out of his home. He followed the faint glow coming from Fulani's camp. His heart raced, but his feet kept moving. As he got closer, Musa saw something he would never forget. Fulani stood in the center of the camp, his eyes as dark as the night. Strange symbols glowed on the ground around him, and shadows danced wildly in the firelight. "What is this?" Musa whispered to himself, hiding behind a bush. Then suddenly, Fulani's head snapped toward Musa's direction. Musa's breath caught in his throat as Fulani's dark eyes locked onto the bushes where he was hiding. A cold shiver ran down his spine. The dancing shadows around Fulani began to twist and rise, moving like living creatures with a will of their own. "Who's there?" Fulani's voice echoed, deep and commanding. The once kind tone Musa had heard in the village was gone. Musa tried to steady his shaking hands, crouching lower in the grass. "Don't move," he told himself. "He can't see me if I stay quiet." But his heart pounded so loudly he feared it would give him away. Suddenly, the shadows slithered toward the bush where Musa was hiding. They swirled and hissed like snakes, drawing closer and closer. Musa's courage faltered. He wanted to run, but his legs felt frozen. Fulani stretched his hand forward, chanting strange words in a language Musa had never heard. The ground trembled slightly and the shadows surrounded Musa like a cage. "You shouldn't have come here, boy," Fulani said, stepping closer, his voice cold and filled with menace. Musa's voice trembled as he stammered, What are you?" Fulani's lips curled into a sinister smile. "I am the master of the night," he said. "The wealth you admire comes with a price, one I gladly pay." He waved his hand, and the glowing cattle flickered like dying stars. "Dark spirits feed on the power of the night," Fulani continued. "They grant me riches beyond imagination. But in return, they demand obedience. No one must know this secret," Fulani said, his voice heavy with threat. "And now, you know." Musa's mind raced. He had to find a way out before Fulani unleashed the full force of his dark magic. The shadows closed in tighter. Musa clenched his fists. He remembered his father's words, courage, even in the darkest night, is the key to survival. "I won't let fear stop me," Musa whispered to himself. Summoning every ounce of bravery, he reached for a small stone on the ground. With all his strength, he threw it at Fulani's glowing circle. The stone shattered part of the ritual symbols, and for a moment, the shadows recoiled, hissing angrily. Fulani's eyes widened in shock. "No," he roared. "You dare interfere?" Musa didn't wait. He bolted from the camp, sprinting as fast as his legs could carry him. the shadows swirling behind him like angry spirits.